Thank you, Harish and Smitaji, for a wonderful session. Coincidentally, we are also going to discuss about Guru topic. That is what we have been discussing. So today we will talk about the science of Guru Discipleship, right? That concept is what we are going to talk about today. So let's get started. It's going to be an interesting conversation today. So I look forward to another engaging session. Let me share my screen and we will get started with our opening prayers then. Are you able to see my screen?
It's perfect.
Great. Okay, so we'll get started with our opening prayers. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. All right, Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening once again to everyone. Let's get started. We are on discussing the Guru Tattva, and today we will have another facet or aspect of it that we are going to have an in-depth discussion on. And tomorrow we'll conclude this discussion to continue with our sequence of shlokas that we are doing in chapter 4. So I'm going to recite it and then you are welcome to follow along. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshanah. All right.
Yeah. Yes. Radhe Radhe. So Bunny is back. Samji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Please go ahead.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinah.
Wonderful. Radhe Radhe. Your bunny avatar has not made any difference in your recitation. So good going. All right. Who's the next one?
Payalji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Palji.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinah. Radhe Radhe.
Great.
Thank
Thank you so much. Radhe Radhe. Payalji, wonderful.
Ashutoshi, Radhe Radhe.
Ashutoshi, Radhe Radhe.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinah.
Wonderful, Ashutoshi. Very nice. All right. Do we have any more hands?
Yes, Sandhya ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Sandhya.
Radhe. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinah.
Very nice, Sandhya. Radhe Radhe.
Rahul ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Rahul.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshayanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshanah.
Very nice, Rahul. Radhe Radhe. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Mata Di.
Oh,
Priya ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Please go ahead.
Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinah.
Very
Radhe
nice,
Radhe.
Neha ji. Radhe Radhe. All right. I think we have come to the end of people who wanted to. Do we have anybody?
Yes. Nobody. We'll start with the bike.
Great.
Yeah.
So let's get started. Like always, the quick translation for this goes like Lord Krishna is telling Arjun, learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him with reverence, and render service unto him. Such an enlightened saint can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So we've been talking about one side of the equation, how to find a guru, who's a true guru. Now let's talk about the other aspect of it today, okay? Because it's a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. So it's not like you find a guru. Let's say we find a guru. We are fortunate enough to do that, and then we say, Guruji, can you please put hand on my head, and the job is done. Doesn't work that way. Right? Please give me your ashirwad, and that's the end of the story. It doesn't work that way, and that is what we are going to talk about a little bit today. Before we get started, let's get a bit of a thought process going. So we are going to discuss this part, the science of Guru-Shishya relationship. Okay, this is what we are going to discuss today. What is the science of Guru discipleship? So in order to start, what do we need to do? We need to get the thought process going. Okay, so let's get that going. So you see these guys, what are they doing? They're watching the next Shah Rukh Khan movie trailer that is coming these days, okay? Whichever it is. Now, if it were you, apparently they're watching a movie. Pardon the English there. Would these people like someone to interrupt their entertainment? So apparently they are getting entertained. Would they like some kind of an interruption if somebody comes and starts interrupting them? Or let's say somebody puts a light in the hall. Anybody who wants to say that?
No, they would not like it, bhai. They would feel odd.
Yeah, it'll be disruptive. It will be disruptive, right? It'll not be nice. Yes, Sandhya, you wanted to add something?
Irritated.
Sorry?
Irritated. They will get irritated. Why are you kind of,
I mean, they are in a flow, they have built a momentum, they are engrossed, they are living vicariously, right? In the screen, they are shedding tears, getting excited when the hero is beating up the goons or meeting the heroine. Everything is happening. And somebody puts a torch or a light or disrupts them. Obviously, they are not going to like it. It doesn't work that way. And you tell them it's just an entertainment, guys. Don't get hung up in it. Said, okay, give me a break. Okay, I've come here for some enjoyment and don't give me can and all that stuff, right? So this is a story of our life, basically. We don't want to get disrupted. Okay, this is an entertainment that we have paid for, signed up for, okay? Because of the desires we are keep on having lifetime after lifetime. And it is just like this movie where we are so hung up in characters, play, that we don't want to get out of it. Okay. Now, Guru does a disruptive work. First of all, if somebody comes and starts showing them the reality, they will not like it, right? But some people might say, okay, I get that, and they may decide to walk out of that and do understand part of it, right? When the light happens at the end of the movie, everybody rushes out as if they are in a big hurry. For 3 hours there was no hurry, but when the movie is over, everybody makes a beeline to get out of it, right? So this life is also a bit like this movie from a psychological standpoint. If you think about it, this is an entertainment that we have signed up for, and we, truly speaking, our intellect is not convinced we need to get out of it. Okay, everybody has some kind of an aspiration. All right, in this life I could not become this, so maybe if that would have happened in this life, that person seems pretty successful or nice, only I wish I had that kind of skills. Some desire is there, right? Something is there. We want to experience this world, we want to experience and get entertained from this world as well. However, the stepping in of Guru, it takes a little bit of detachment, Vairagya part of it. And that is what we are going to talk about, okay? Where we are going to talk about the science. How are the different steps basically that enables meeting a Guru? So steps involved in the science of Guru discipleship. The very first step is, now if we could find a true Guru in any way, in any lifetime, okay, how does that happen? The person needs to be endowed with faith, thirst for God, and detachment from the world. then they will accept somebody as a guru. Okay, these three factors have to be there. They don't have to be perfect. If you are perfect in all of these, detachment for the world is perfect, then you're already there, right? Avatars happen, like Ram Bhagwan came in Chitrakoot. He met so many saints who were at the tipping point. Krishna Bhagwan came. Even Maharajji, in the initial days, he would do just satsangs and kirtans. So people who have developed a firm detachment from the world, who are on the tipping point, are ready for God realization, ready to take that next leap. Those are very far and few in between. So when I'm giving you this state, could be a perfect state where you are on the tipping point, or you have developed some kind of a vairagya. You kind of start making sense. This world is there, but what I'm seeking is something bigger. At least that spark will come. That is a prerequisite for you to even meet a guru or accept somebody as a guru. If you don't have that spark, you're too busy enjoying that movie or that entertainment of the life and say, I don't have a reason. I have a perfect family, a loving heart, 6-figure salary, right? Why do I need to? So that process continues. Some spark, some level of vairagya. We said, right, vairagya is a good thing, is needed for us, where you are intellectually saying, what I'm seeking is something bigger. It goes deeper than what I'm getting. That spark has to be there. Then you are kind of making an eligibility to even meet a guru. If that spark is not there, it's a futile exercise at that point, right? It will not happen. And obviously you need to have faith and thirst for God. All these factors have to come. And then if you are at this stage, Guru is not going to accept it. You are not yet pure. Just because you have met a guru doesn't mean the relationship as a disciple has been established. No, doesn't work that way. Okay, your vessel is still not there. So you could be 99% or maybe close to 100%, which is a perfect scenario, ideal case, like God's avatars or even a lot of gurus, they come to give that final push to that disciple. However, most of the people would be somewhere in that spectrum of 0 to 100, right? Somewhere in that range. Then the real job starts. Now you meet a person, you feel something, right? You have done your evaluation or something within you, like God reestablishes that faith and gives you some kind of signals where you start practicing, something starts clicking, and some kind of a relationship from your side starts getting established. That is the very first step. Then what happens? The second step is where Guru, now you have given the faith, you understand, you have a thirst for God, you have the spiritual spark, and you have that detachment also where you are approaching the Guru. So what will Guru do basically? What is the role of a Guru? We will give you Tattva Gyan. Who is Jeev? Who are you? Who is Bhagavan? What is Maya? We need to know these concepts. Without these, we cannot really progress. If we don't understand these concepts, we really can't proceed on this path. Who are you? Where do you belong to? Who belongs to you? And Guru is an entity, basically, is a personality who is Yoga Maya Yukt. He is beyond Maya already. Okay, he may look to you in flesh and blood like a normal human, but they are not. Okay, they are beyond that. Like Ramana Maharshi, and I'll tell you an example of Prabhuji Maharaj, and they are Vide. Like we talk about one of the tools as a witness consciousness, and Swamiji's Power of Thoughts book, he has touched upon that fact, right? So saints already have that. In modern world, the diluted form of that witness consciousness is spoken about as mindfulness, right? There are so many self-help books written on mindfulness. Mindfulness is nothing but a diluted or a preliminary or an entry point to witness consciousness. So Ramana Maharshi, he developed a tumor, right? A very rare kind of bone cancer. And when he was being operated upon, he didn't need an anesthesia because he was in a witness consciousness. He could actually see and do that. And same thing happened with Maharajji as well. Once his appendix burst, and for 2 days he did not do anything. He completed his lecture and everything. And after he said, I'm having a bit of a, because obviously he has to take care of. And then he took him to the doctors. They were surprised. What kind of a miracle we are seeing? How can somebody survive? We can't understand. 2 days, appendix has burst, and he's standing in front of us like this. And then they gave him anesthesia, no effect whatsoever. And then he asked them, okay, for how many hours do you want me to sleep? They said, okay, 4 to 6 hours. He said, okay, make sure it is done in that, and went to sleep. So saints automatically have that consciousness, right? So they are Yogamaya Yukt, and they are the ones who can teach us the Brahma Vidya, right? This even Bhagavad Gita is called Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. So they will tell you what is Jeev, what is your true identity, who is God, what is your relationship with them, what to do. And that is where the process starts as a guru, right? Once you approach a guru, proper guru, and with faith, with reverence, and God has established that faith in you, right? God is the knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. We spoke about that in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned, for he establishes that faith. And now the process has started, kicked off. What happens in step 3? Now the disciple thing has started. Now student, they carry on with sadhana recommended by Guru. Okay, now your accountability starts coming. It's not a one-way street where you simply listen, maza aa gaya, very nice, right? You just keep speaking, that is fine. You have to contemplate on that, but end of the day, the sadhana recommended by Guru has to be carried out for us to proceed in this process. And because of that, what happens is the firm faith in Guru, and the Guru starts doing yogakshem. Now you're kind of building that relationship. Okay. Now Guru will do yogakshem when you start approaching his teachings with firm faith and start implementing it in your day-to-day life. Right? Guru says, remember God, bring that consciousness from time to time. Don't look at other fault, parninda, pardosh, don't indulge in gossiping. Focus on your self-growth. When you start aligning to those principles, those teachings with sincerity, now Guru will start doing your yogic shame as well. Okay. What happens in the next step? Now, next step, what happens is an important one. Guru goes on helping the student during his sadhana period as well. Now, the relationship, that hook has gotten formed. They start giving basically the push that is needed. And during this course, Guru he's already serving you, and that service gets to the next level. He starts assisting with your samskars, removes impediments, anartha nivritti, all those things will start happening. A lot of things you're thinking not working out, those will start happening because he knows you are actually proceeding with sincerity. And last but not the least, this is the most important part. The Guru's grace is always there. However, the full and final God and Guru's final grace, you are ready to receive that. That is when your antakaran is fully purified and Guru is going to make you a billionaire. Okay, that is the final grace of Guru, where you become malamal. You get the Paramanand divine love and his final grace. That is the final step. This is how the process unfolds. So if you look at it, it all starts with a bit of a detachment. Thirst for God, you need to have a spiritual spark and the faith aspect of it. Right? He said that we can do Guru shopping in the beginning. Obviously, it's an important decision of our life and God has given us buddhi. But finally, that process, if we are having all the 3 factors in place, God will lead you to. It can never happen that you never find it. It could happen now, it could happen after a month, 10 years, next lifetime, could be anytime. We don't know. God has that algorithm, but it has to happen. It is de facto, has to happen on the path of your spirituality progress. But the onus starts from us. We are seeking for the right reasons. We do have spark, and our intellect is not entirely convinced, but somewhat convinced. Some amount of vairagya is needed to begin with. If you don't have it, you are too happy in your life, then nothing. Or if you think, let me solve all my problems in life and then I'll do, still it will not happen. Or if you think all the favorable winds should blow, then it will happen, it will not happen. Or if you give yourself an excuse, right now my kids are my priority and my profession, and then they're all lame excuses. Okay, this is a very important dimension. The sooner we add, the better off we are, because it's a manual for life. And if we keep using the product, we are actually doing more harm than good to ourselves. It says that the winds of the grace of God and Guru are always blowing, always blowing. We just need to hoist our sail, right? In India, I remember antenna used to be there and you just keep playing around with that, and just to tune it to the correct waves so that you can get the channel that you need. Then the cable TV came and everything happened, but the winds are always blowing. We just need to raise our antenna, or hoist our sail, and it will get captured. So this is called the process of correcting the direction of our bucket. It is upside down right now. When it is corrected, all the grace will start pouring in. Okay, and the final grace of Guru would come when we are pure. Then that is called Diksha. Diksha does not happen at the beginning. Okay, you get a mantra, and after that, when you get that mantra or whatever that thing is from Guru, when you are purified, you are a done deal at that point. You've already done all the electrical fittings. The connection to the powerhouse is established, and you are already in Paramanand. Maya Nivritti has happened, and Panchaklesh, Tridosh, Tritap, everything is taken care of at that point. Okay, that is the final thing where Guru has prepared you for God, and you are a done deal at that point. So this is how the cycle goes. Now let's look at what happens after that. You got it. What happened? Some people. So this is like a rocket now. You see, right? You took a flight from Prithvi Lok to Golok, okay, or whichever lok you want to go based on the Ishta Dev that you do. It could be Saket Lok, it could be Devi Lok, it could be Shiv Lok, okay. It could be any lok based on the Ishta Dev that you worship with faith and reverence. Now, what happens when you receive this final grace? Let's look at that as well. When you get that, now, this is an important thing. It's not that this is our first lifetime where we are seeking Guru or have gotten a Guru. Okay, it's a very important concept. We might have tried many Gurus in our infinite past lifetimes seeking God. So there is only two possibilities. Either we did not find a proper Guru, or we were not true disciple in following the sadhana. These are the only two reasons why we have not realized God. Quite possible we have found a true Guru also, but our intellect did not cooperate. That kintu parantu, Guruji, what you say makes sense, but this one point does not. That but kintu parantu, however, in our buddhi is actually making us repeat here. So both possibilities are there. It is we have met God, Guru, perfect saint, everything has happened. But the only reason why we keep on repeating is because we could not establish that perfect disciple relationship with that Guru. That is the main reason for that. So we need to correct that. Even after finding a perfect, even a Brahmaji, who's the topmost Guru you can have, right, in this material world, even if he becomes our Guru and we are not ready for it, he cannot do anything for us. Okay? It's like, I don't know which that bait plant is there, right? It will never give flowers, no matter how much rain falls on it or the quality of rain falls on it. So if we can have Brahmaji as our Guru, still it will not work if we don't approach it with faith, reverence, and most importantly, following the instructions and practicing it on a day-to-day basis, prioritizing it and practicing it on a day-to-day basis. Now let's move on. What are the other things that happen when we talk about spiritual nature of the spiritual happiness? By the way, I want to thank Samji, who's in the Bunny Avatar, for doing a lot of research around it. So thank you, Samji. I think it will be very heartening for you to see so many things that you have put in. So they're coming in here. Now let's move on. Now, divine love is such a great power. It can only be given to qualified persons. You say, Guruji, give me divine power. It will not help you. If it is given to unqualified, his body will burst. Like they call it, right? It will just sublimate or evaporate. Antariksh mein vileen ho jayegi. We can't tolerate that. Just like even in material world, we require a qualification. And in this case, the qualification is a perfect cleansed antakaran. Right? There was a guy who had a heart stroke. Okay, he had a heart stroke and he was lying on a hospital bed. And he had 3 daughters. So this guy apparently hits 100 million lottery. Okay, such a great news. So doctor said, hey, don't tell him. If you tell him he just had a stroke, he may have another stroke out of happiness. So people said, we have to tell him. His family member said, all right, I'll take care of telling him. I know how to tell him. He said, okay, go ahead, doctor. The doctor says, okay, what if you hit a 20 million lottery? So the father said, I'll marry off my eldest daughter. So what? He said, okay, and what if you hit a 50 million lottery? He said, I'll marry off my other two daughters as well. And, and I have some loans going on as well. I'll take care of those loans as well. He said, what if you have hit 100 million lottery? Okay, doctor says. He said, are you kidding me? If that happens, I promise you, I'll give you 50% of it. Hearing that, doctor had a stroke. Okay. Now, the problem is that our heart cannot take happiness beyond a point. And here we are talking about spiritual happiness. Even if we get a drop of it, we will be like intoxicated and done deal. Okay, that is how powerful it is. And it can only be received in a pure vessel. There's a saying in English that only a lion gold vessel can hold a tigress milk. Now, I don't know how far it is true who has tried to milk a tigress, but point here is you need a proper vessel to receive something which is of such high value. Okay, so this is something which you need to have an eligibility or a qualification for that. The second is, now even Shyam Sundar accepts defeat when Mahapurush asks him to leave his heart. So this thing is something, if you look at it, divine happiness, it can never be lost or be stolen. It's not that once you got divine happiness, now somebody can steal it. Okay, it's gone. Never. It can only go in one direction, which is northwards. That means it can only increase. It is ever fresh, it is ever increasing, and it just keeps on increasing. And to an extent that even Shyam Sundar, which is Shyam, which is Krishna, he accepts defeat when Mahapurush asks him to leave his heart. He cannot. God is incapable of doing that. There's a beautiful story of Surdas. Swamiji says that, I've forgotten that famous saying from Surdas, where he was walking back after a discourse, and because he could not see, he was about to fall in a pit. So Lord Krishna thought that, my devotee is going to fall in a pit. Let me help him out. So he walks him, okay, and tell him, Babaji, can you just move a little aside, and just tries to maneuver him through his hand. Okay. And Surdas, he was a saint, of course, right? So he sensed, this boy is some special boy. And he tried to grab his hand. And when he tried to grab his hand, yes, Pragyaji, are you going to make some correction in my story? Please go ahead.
Perfect. I just remembered the line Surdas they had said.
Yeah.
So you complete yours, then I'll say.
Sure. He tries to grab his hand, and obviously Krishna, right? Krishna, he doesn't enter samadhis, and he cannot be caught just like that. So he runs away. So then Pragyaji is going to tell you the verse. Basically, what Tulsidas, Surdas ji says that, thinking of me as weak or nirbal, you are running away from me. I will manofy you. I will man jaunga tumhe if you can run away from my heart. Okay, that was a saying. So you can tell that saying, Pragyaji. Please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Nitin, thank you. Beautiful session. Yes, the verse was हाथ छुड़ाए जात हो निर्बल जान के मोही हृदय से जब जाओ तो सबल मैं मानूं तो ही.
Very nice. Yes. So he's challenging.
Yeah, and I also want to say, Nitin, I really love those lines when you said that winds are blowing, we just need to raise our antenna. Like, yeah, what Maharaj ji says, कि vessel बनाना है, वो तो बैठे हैं देने के लिए, प्रेम दान देने के लिए, but he says कि कहाँ दूं मैं, छिद्र है, तुम्हारे पूरे vessel में छेद है, it's like छलनी. So yeah, where to give showers of, like, there are showers of blessings, and yet we plead for those blessings. Thank you.
Right. It's like they say कि भगवान की grace में कमी नहीं है. There is no deficiency in God's grace. The deficiency has always been in our effort. Okay, that is how it goes. Now, there's another one I remember now that you sang. I think I can sing the other one. Now, gopis also, when Uddhav goes there, to give them some gyan that God is everywhere, why are you crying and doing all that stuff? So they said, we see Krishna everywhere. And he said, what does that mean? So gopis gave that famous verse. They said that Swamiji recites it so beautifully. I'll try that. They say, Vatan me, Ghatan me, Vithan me, Bagan me, बेलन में वाटिका में फूलन में वन में दरन में दीवारन में देहरी दरीचन में हीरन में हारन में भूषण में तन में कानन में कुंजन में गोपिन में गायन में गोकुल में गोधन में दामिनी में घर में जहां जहां देखो तित श्याम ही दिखाई दे मेरे श्याम छाए रहियो नयनन में मन में. So basically they are saying wherever we see just Krishna. That is the power of love. Once you get the divine love, it's not that you get it and then you lose it. Never. It always remain, right? Even there's a meditation for Gopi. I think Naradji, he was wondering what kind of meditations do gopis do. So one Gopi was sitting near a lake and she was like, they said, what are you trying to do? She said, I'm trying to take Krishna off my head. So Shyam Sundar, once he enters your khopadi, because he's a Ras Sindhu, even if you want, that is how intoxicating it can be, but he will not enter it until we have prepared our drawing room for, the guest of honor. But once he does, I mean, if he privileges somebody, gets the honor, then even if you want, because he's a Ras Sindhu, we get enamored, attracted towards so many things in life. And he's the Ras Sindhu. He's the source of everything. And if he decides to give you Ras, you can only imagine the Brahmand Nayak, the supreme creator, wants to give you a bliss. Okay. I mean, you can only imagine. So that is how it goes. So this is the quality of divine bliss. And last but not the least, and there is nothing for you to maintaining it. Like I said, in the world, if you have to get something, there are 3 phases to it. You put in a lot of hard work to get something. Then you put in a lot of hard work to maintain it. And a lot of insecurity of losing it as well. And finally, you feel the pain of losing it. Is there anything we can continue to hold on to for the rest of our life? No, no way. But divine bliss is something you don't have to worry about maintaining it. And you can't lose it. So, like I said, even Shyam Sundar or Krishna or Bhagwan also admits defeat in front of a devotee. So once you get a divine bliss, you are a done deal. It's not a reversible process, and it can only happen through a guru. You cannot attain that. We can't understand Tattva Gyan. We don't have the technology to cleanse our antakaran. We don't know where we are stuck, and we don't know the defects of our buddhi, and we don't know the layers of selfishness which only a guru can peel layer by layer by layer. Okay. If we continue to be governed by our buddhi devi, our intellect, it will not take us very far. But then we have to be hopeful, optimistic. We have to meet Guru, but we have to have some kind of a detachment where you are intellectually said, I need it. Okay. And pray to God for that. And God will lead us to a true Guru, not a Guru who will take you for a ride. Okay. Any questions so far? Before I proceed further, it is important to know the other aspects of it as well. Okay. For example, what happens, once you have already, if you find he's not a guru. I'll get into some of those concepts, but any questions so far what we have discussed before I get into that concepts, right? Because this is something you are not going to, it's not that you hit a bullseye right from the word go. And especially if we have approached somebody with not with spiritual seeking, but with some material intent, like typically it happens, we have some kind of a wish list going on in our head, and that is why we want to approach a guru. Guruji, bahut problem in life mein. Tell me which direction my house should be, and can you just fix it for me? Some Rahu Ketu and some grahas are really troubling me. And Guru said, all right, now we are talking. So there is a good possibility we may land up with somebody who is not conducive or who's counterproductive to our spiritual journey. How do we approach it then? Okay, we're going to talk about that topic as well a little bit. But any questions so far on what we have discussed?
We have few hands, Bhai.
Sorry?
Shall we start? We have few hands.
Sure.
Sandhya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. First of all, there is this comment from Asha ji. Beautiful and most blissful. Vatan mein, ghatan mein, sundar bhav purn prastuti. And then coming to my question. So this was yoga shame. Can you just explain that a little? What does that mean?
So, Yogakshem Vyamyaham, basically, I'm sure a lot of people can explain it better than I do. So, Yogakshem, if you look at it, it is, you've seen that LIC in India. What is its symbol? It says Yogakshem Vyamyaham, and it's going to basically preserve and provide for when you need it, kind of a deal, right? LIC's punchline is Yogakshema Vyamyaham. By the way, there was a commentator, I forgot his name. He said, why does God have to, or Guru have to say Yogakshem Vyamyaham? They can sue Dadamyaham. He can give it. So anyways, we'll not get into that. So basically, Yogakshem, as I understand, it's three things. One is preserves what you have that is needed for you on the spiritual path. Provide you more of it that is needed for you that you lack, and destroys that you have which is not required for your spiritual. All three things can happen, and Guru takes care of that. He's serving you with all the three things. So you have things that are good for your spiritual growth. He will maintain that. It's not that you'll lose it, and he'll provide more of things that you lack but they are needed for you to progress. And also he will destroy things which are there in you but they are not beneficial for your spiritual growth. So those things start happening when you establish that relationship and start rendering service and start following his teachings. This
Wonderful.
These three things happen.
Thank you.
Yes, Survi? Radhe Radhe Urvi.
I want to ask that,
Audio is very feeble, Urvi. Something is not right with your audio.
is it okay now?
It is very okay now.
So I wanted to ask that it is said that Guru has been with us since infinite lifetimes, and he'll be with us until we become God realized. So is it if if Maharaji is my Guru, so is it true that he has been my Guru always? And
there's a good possibility. There is a good possibility. So always, if you have taken to Maharaji's teachings like a fish takes to water, there is a very good possibility he has been our Guru in the past as well. Right? We just need to tighten our seat belts and start following instructions better to continue, because this association, like I said, Guru-disciple relationship goes across multiple lifetimes, and you will see in some cases it will be like you have absolutely no doubt. The first time you hear, you are blown away. Why does it happen? Because you've already resonated with those teachings in your past lifetime. That is the only plausible reason for that. Yes, there's a very good possibility. And this association will continue as well. So that is the beauty of it. The Guru does not leave you 99% of the journey. He will take you across. Of course, the speed will be determined by your own efforts, right? How quickly you align to the teachings and do your sadhana and all that stuff. But yeah, there's a very good possibility around that. Guru will come in a manner that message will be so seamless for you that you will be like, okay, this is what I needed to hear. Nothing else would matter at that point. Very true. Does that make you happy, Gurvi? Good. Yes, Shyamji.
Yeah, I had a question, Bhai. Can I ask?
Yes, please.
As you said, once we accept Guru and Guru accepts us, vice versa, and once our work, मतलब हमारा जो काम पूरा हो गया, he made us be God realized and we are with the God. So will he leave us then, or will he be with us for the entire this janam and janmantar?
Yes, so basically we are not obligated to take janam after that. Okay, let's understand that. You are not supposed to come back to the material world. Yeah, I mean, Guru may say, all right, gang. So the key thing is, even after God realization, you continue to work with the Guru. Even after God realization, that is how that association is. Even the sevas for God, he will tell you, okay, this is the way to. It's a much deeper conversation, but you are not obligated to come back to this world. But yeah, I mean, if God desires, or as a service to God, you may choose to come as part of his pastime. So Shyamji might want to become Krishna's friend in one of his avatars. It can happen. But then you are not obliged to stay back in this world. You are already a done deal. You get that? But that association, to your question, with Guru continues even after God realization. It's not that now that association has broken. Even the sevas that you do for God there, lot of guru would be guiding you around that as well. That is what is explained basically in our scriptures. Pragyaji, wanted to add something?
Pragyaji, I can't see. Please raise your hand again. I'll have to search for you.
Please raise your
Pragyaji,
hand again and please talk again. Okay, Lakshmiji, you wanted to add something as well?
Lakshmiji. Yeah.
Radhe Radhe.
Pragyaji, please go ahead. Pragyaji.
Let Lakshmi say.
Your voice is not coming. I think you having the same problem that Urvi was having. So need to fix it the same way.
Hello, Radhe Radhe. Am I audible?
Okay. Yeah, Lakshmiji, please go ahead in the meantime. So Guru, I wanted to add one more thing. See, there are, I think, 5 or 6 categories of people that exist on this world. Okay. We all have to do our self-analysis to see which category we fit in, right? There's a category of people who don't mind harming themselves to harm others. Okay. That is the lowest category of people. Then you have people who will, for their own sake, for their own benefit, of course, they will not harm themselves, but they are willing to harm others for their own sake. Right? Then you have people that for their sake, they don't harm others. Okay, now the nobility and those kind of things start coming in there. And then the other category of people are who think of how they can help others. The paropkar aspect has trickled in. And then the highest kind of people are the ones who don't mind harming themselves to help others. And that is the category where saints and guru belong to. It's pure compassion. The only thing they can do is kripa. Okay, that is how deep this relationship goes. And the kind of seva they do for us, once that you start following their teachings and start rendering service, we can't even imagine. That is the level of compassion Guru has for you. It's a very deep relationship. Yes, Lakshmiji, you had a question?
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. Like, suppose the Guru has appeared and we couldn't identify. So, like, if we miss the chance, do we get again, or like how long that opportunity do we get it? That is first question.
Sorry, I
And the
didn't get that.
hello.
Lakshmiji, there was a lot of background noise.
Yeah, actually, I'm traveling, so can I chat that?
Please, you can just.
Hello. Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Not okay.
I'll chat it, Nitinji.
Okay,
Thank you
maybe
so much.
can text it, chat it, and we can pick it up. If you can type it out and send it in a chat, and then we can pick it up. Okay, so let's move on. Anybody else who had anything before we move on to the next?
Pragyaji, you want something? Shall you take Pragyaji?
Sure.
Pragyaji, please go ahead. Pragyaji, are you there? Can you hear me? I guess she has lost. Pragyaji, can you hear me?
Going on today, which is not cooperating.
Yeah.
Once you're back, please do let us know. And now the other part of it is, if you find he's not a true guru, okay, those kind of situations can happen, right? If we didn't approach it with knowledge, and it can happen in life. What do we do then? It's important to understand that as well. The first thing is we separate without quarreling or fighting, neutral to it, no love or no hate. Because the person who cheated and who got cheated, it's a shared accountability. Right? You also were seeking for whatever reason, and that is why you landed up. So you have to share that. Durbhavna or quarreling and those kind of things we need to stay away from. This is a very important concept to understand. The second part is that if you wish, you can continue to search for another. Best thing to do is cry out to Krishna directly. In fact, in our scriptures, there is no nishad in finding gurus. You can change as many gurus as you want, provided you don't have durva bhavana or bad feeling for the previous one. That is the key thing. So the recommended thing is, once you find a guru, it is advisable to have ananyata as opposed to keep on experimenting around with throughout your life. It's important because the reason we do keep on experimenting around is we listen, we simply speculate, and we don't put it to practice and move on to the next thing. Okay, so it's important to understand the teachings and start imbibing those teachings and see the difference for yourself. Okay, once you're kind of intellectually settled and God has established the faith, it's very important to do that. If you continue being unsettled, I think it is not advisable. We'll get into that. Yes, Sandhya, you had a question?
This is Lakshmi ji's question. She just messaged this.
Sure.
So if we miss Guru on his appearance to us, how many times do we have the chance? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I think God is compassionate and so is Guru. If we miss, God knows. He will simply smile. He will keep us giving us opportunities. As long as we have not done some kind of a spiritual transgression, then I think the cool-off period could be much longer. Spiritual transgression is where we have started thinking negatively about a saint, or putting our buddhi to use. So spiritual, other than that, God will keep us giving us multiple opportunities. It's not like you get 3 chances and after that, sorry, thank you very much, you will never get, now you continue on earth. No, nothing like that. God is eternally merciful, so we keep on, but it's important to hang on to our, or utilize our chances and utilize. See, the way to attract more grace, the formula to attract more grace is to productively utilize the existing grace. The more productively we continue to utilize the graces that we have received, it will draw more grace. It's just like if somebody's given you scholarship and all you do is party and watch movie and drinks, you will not get that scholarship. But if you are putting that scholarship to good use, you will get more of it. Simple principle. So in order to draw more grace from God and Guru, you simply have a gratitude for the graces you have received and put those graces to use. Don't simply digest it and sleep and start shopping for the next grace you can get from another blessing, right? It's very important to do that.
she just had a follow-up question as well, which is, suppose we get Guru and couldn't reach God realization stage. So do we have the same Guru in next birth?
Yes, either the same Guru will come during his avatar kal, which might coincide with your next life as a human, or it will come through somebody which will be the transparent message for you through one of his followers or maybe one of his disciples. But be rest assured, where you left off, Guru will make sure your journey continues whenever you come in as a human. Guru has an account of everybody's lifetime. When they are going to come back as human, what they are doing, what they are thinking, they have the entire report all the times. So whenever you come back as a human, hopefully it is back to back. And if he cannot complete our journey, he will come himself, or he will have one of his associates who will continue, who will basically hold your hand and make sure that journey continues. This is how this association works. By the way, I asked Swamiji once, are we going to meet next life? First of all, that means it basically tells me I'm not going to complete my journey this life. And he said, there is no doubt. Okay, so this is the answer I got. So just very confidently, there's no doubt. So 2 things I can make out of it. I'm not going to complete that journey this life, which is not very encouraging. Second is, this association, very encouraging, is going to continue across lifetimes. Once you come under a Guru, he will make sure that you continue your journey from where you left, even if you have not completed it. Okay, any other questions on that?
There is, sorry.
Sir, please go ahead. Sir, please go ahead.
There's a question from Ganapriya ji. Can we have more than 2 or 3 true gurus at the same time, since all of them teach us the same knowledge?
Ananyata is recommended, advisable, because what will happen is your buddhi will come into picture. Okay, let me put into some other thing. If he's not a true Guru, let me go to the next one and talk a little bit about that, which might help answer your question. If we find another Mahapurush, right? That's what your question was. So that's a question. Yes, it is possible you find another Mahapurush, right? There's no dearth of Mahapurush. It can happen. However, it is advisable to go to the Mahapurush under whom you started your sadhana, because each Mahapurush will have their own way, and then your buddhi will come into picture. You may get confused if their teachings are having a subtle difference and stuff like that. So, and if that results in some kind of a confusion, durbhavana, then again, it's a spiritual transgression. So once you've understood the Tattva Gyan, things have started clicking, it is advisable to continue. Otherwise, your buddhi can mess up with you, because different people have different way of telling the same concept, right? If you are Shankaracharya, he will tell you one aspect, even though if you start following his teachings around that time. Similarly, Nimbarkacharya, Madhvacharya. So everybody, when you start following that, it's advisable to do that, because for your own good, because your mind will not be able to reconcile it. We are not Samanvyacharya. We are not Nikhila Darshan, right? So your mind will play tricks. So it is advisable, a best practice, to continue. Otherwise, it can play tricks on you. So Ananyata is important, right? Like they say, God is same, right? Krishna, Shiv, Vishnu, Ram, Durga, Sita, Radha, they are not different. However, you say, I'll do a little bit of this, that, then Ananyata will not come. You will not be able to build that depth in that relationship with one form, and you will be all over the place. Same thing goes with Guru as well. They're all God realized, but they have their own way of telling you things based on the time, space, and when they came. So that message, if you try to reconcile it in your head, can actually confuse you. So it's better, take your time initially. But once the message has started, it's important to have an Ananyata to continue to progress, as opposed to continue to experiment around, because it can be counterproductive. And if our scriptures and Guru is telling us, there could be a good reason for that. Yes, a couple of hands.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
getting a very so a lot of questions will pop up around this topic. So I was anticipating that. So yes, please go ahead.
Chiramaji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, no question but a request. I wanted to say that in next life, when you meet Swamiji again, don't forget about us. I hope we'll be your students again.
No, what you're I'm not even worthy of being a teacher, to be honest, I'll tell you. But the good thing is, we all are in. See, I'll tell you, this is not a providence that we are sitting here and actually contemplating on Tattva Gyan given by Maharaj Ji. Okay, so in some lifetime, the fact that this knowledge is capturing our heart, some connection is there. And if we continue with sincerity, this connection will continue. It will always continue. This is how this journey goes, basically. And this will continue. It has to continue. There is no doubt about it. Okay. This association, the spiritual, what do you call that, associates in whichever lifetime. It may not be that all get the same, but this association in some form or manner continues until we finish our journey. So that is the best part of this whole thing. Whether it would happen in the same life or we don't know that, but whoever it's going to be there, somebody is covering our back, basically, which is very reassuring on this part. And Guru is going to be there.
But one thing is, but will we be able to know this? We were there last time, this lifetime, other lifetime.
How would it help?
Who will remember this? Will you know the honor?
How would it help us, basically, if we know that? If I tell you that, you know what, maybe 100 years or 1,000 years back, we were doing something similar, not on Zoom session or maybe in some ashram together, okay, and now we all have repeated here. There's a possibility. Who knows? Who knows?
That's not a concern. I'm saying just will you remember those things to tell us once we meet again? Give us same class, same people, same time,
it doesn't
different
help.
time zone.
Yeah, basically remembering things, it's the same question. I mean, why don't we remember our previous birth, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't help actually too much. It doesn't help because those memories, they really don't help, right? If you know, okay, by the way, this guy did this to me, in last life, and your mind already is so muddled up, it's just going to complicate things. So God is the memory, and God makes us forget us also. And these are some of the things He makes us forget for our benefit only.
True that.
But the good thing is that once you have the spiritual spark, once you start aligning to the teachings, this association will continue until you complete your journey, which is such a good thing, such a great blessing, right? God has provided to us. Nothing can be more reassuring than that.
True. Yeah, Joanne ji has thanked you for this session, Nitin bhai. She says, Radhe Radhe, thank you, Nitin ji, for covering this topic today. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you.
She is thanking you, Joanne ji.
Radhe.
And Manoranjan ji, please go ahead. Radhe Radhe.
Manoranjan ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe, Namaskaram to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, yes, you
Am
are.
I
Please.
audible? Yeah, I have been listening to the discussions actually. So, Nitinji, when you were saying that we should have Ananya Bhava to the Guru, what exactly you mean by Ananya Bhava? Because if you translate Ananya Bhava to English, it is exclusiveness. So, do you say, are you saying that we should stick to a single person or a single source of knowledge throughout? Is it like
No.
that?
No.
Because
So, like
suppose if you want to learn French, if you go to an English
Like-
teacher, it will not be possible for us. So in order to learn French, you have to go to a French teacher. So how do you say
Agreed.
that we would associate ourselves with a single person throughout our life in order to learn things? Because we are
Okay, so
teachers.
let's understand it in the context. Okay, our scriptures have no nishad, or they do not bar us or restrict us from changing gurus. You can have 50 gurus, you can have 100 gurus.
No, it is not
200
about changing Guru. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. It is not about changing Guru. Guru, you see, don't personify Guru, because I have requested, don't personify. Guru is not a person. Guru is a concept.
I think we spoke
So,
about Ranjanji, Python cannot be a
not a
guru.
person,
Guru is a concept.
right?
What we are discussing here is personified form of a guru who can help us, who can resolve our doubt, who can take us across Maya. So this is a person, not a concept we are talking about. It is a concept, and at the same time, it is a person. Both we are talking about. Having said that, what is the aim of our life? Our aim of our life is to go past Maya, right? And if the teachings have resonated with you, then the purpose of life is not continue to acquire knowledge and keep on acquiring it and keep on acquiring it. No, the purpose of life is take that knowledge, implement it, and then take yourself to the next level. So if you have already met a God realized saint, it is advisable to your benefit to start following the teachings and take yourself to the next level. There is the perfect knowledge that you are looking for will happen in due course of time. But you cannot say, I will keep on changing people. Guru is a concept. Even an ant, a python, everybody, Dattatreya had 24, I'll make it 48. And that is the goal of my life. Making gurus is not the goal of life. Going past Maya is the goal of life. And if you have found a person who can take you past that, God has established that fate. We are fortunate enough. There is no reason for us to continue that quest. It's a very simple, logical concept. I hope that answers.
The question is that suppose now when you are seated here and you are saying something to us, okay? So first of all, you have to learn this language. Unless until you have learned this English language, so you do not have been capable of sitting here.
Right.
So have you learned this English language from the same person from where you are learning spiritual practices? No, they are different. So you cannot say that the person from whom you have learned English is not your guru. He is also your guru. Guru means the source of knowledge, right? So we should understand this concept. So it is not like that a single person is contributing to our spiritual growth. There are many aspects. Your father also has contributed to your spiritual growth. Your mother has also contributed to your spiritual growth. Okay, if your mother would not have given you bath, you would not have been here. So she is also your guru. So accept that. Don't say that I have a single person as a guru. Guru is a concept. So if from where you are taking knowledge, revere this person and accept him as his guru. Guru is a tattva altogether and is not a person.
Sure, Manoj. You are welcome to believe that definition. We are restricting our discussion to what scriptures are telling us as a concept of guru, not what we feel or what we think, right? So yes, there are material gurus at every stage of our life, like we said, starting with our mother, right? But we are talking about guru as a concept, as a personality who has an ability to take you past Maya or make you complete the journey of God realization. So we are talking about that particular entity here. But you are welcome to believe everybody is a guru and guru is a concept, and we should not restrict that. That is perfectly acceptable as well. Yes, Rahul.
Radhe Radhe. I
Radhe
think
Radhe.
Maharaj Ji and Swami Ji have reiterated many times, and probably you have also told that in spiritual realm, Guru should be Shotri Brahmnisht. So that is the point. Yeah.
Shotri and Brahmanist. Yeah, that's how we started this whole discussion. A guru is a person who is scripturally well. The definition of guru in our scriptures.
Correct.
Ranjan ji, you may want to validate it with scriptures. What is the definition of guru? The definition of guru is one who is Shrotriya, very well versed with scriptures, and Brahmanist, who has seen the truth himself. This is the definition of guru given in our scriptures. So we are going by that definition, and that is what we are discussing, not our own speculation or understanding around this concept. Okay, anybody else had any questions around that? I think we covered a lot today, and it was a little deep too, around a lot of things. So tomorrow we will conclude this discussion by talking a little bit about, are we free or are we bound? And this concept of sampradayas. This is also a concept we need to tackle because we have a lot of sampradayas on lineage, so to say. And a lot of emphasis is given to that as well. Which sampradaya you belong to? Are you from Vishishta Advait? Are you from Dvaita Advait? You know, which lineage you follow, and who's your guru's guru? What is the chain? So we'll talk about that concept tomorrow to conclude this discussion. Obviously, there are a lot more. This is a very deep topic. We will touch upon those aspects when we get to 4.34 in the chain of shlokas that we are covering. Right now, we are on 4.25. But for tomorrow, we'll conclude it with this concept. But you're welcome to put in questions that you may have in the tracker, feedback tracker. If you have not covered it, I'm happy to bring that in tomorrow's discussion, or any other things that you may have around the session. So anybody has any questions, please do fill out the tracker. And you can make the announcements, Shyam, in the meantime.
Announcements, I not know much. I only know one announcement. That's a West Coast retreat by Maharaj Swamiji. It's from July 29th to July 31st at Fresno. It's a three-day West Coast retreat. Anything else besides this? I have no idea. Any clue you have?
Okay, we have a Janmashtami celebration coming up. We'll have online as well. Then we have LTP program for Swamiji coming up. So if you're in around Dallas area, do plan to make it in person. And then we have a Dallas retreat coming up. I think the early bird ends at July 25th. Do check it out. So all exciting stuff coming up in coming weeks and months. So do check it out and do avail all the opportunities.
All things happen around your city, only Dallas. That is not fair. You are trying to, I do not know what to do to us. People like us, people like me, I do not know. Are you trying to make us jealous? Are you trying to make us move to Dallas? I do not know. Jealous. Same.
Dallas, huh?
It's rhyming so well.
Do come over Dallas, and it basically it's a good place to be in. You will be never short of excitement. You will never run short of seva, and you will have celebrations going throughout the year. But those celebrations are with a difference. I always say that we are ladki wala now, so we don't go and dance and enjoy. We are serving. How can we help you? People come and we make sure they have a good time. So we are all into seva, and throughout the year we continue doing that, which is good, right? It's very good.
I want to do the same gang, seva, ladki walas.
What?
I want to do the same gang, ladki walas.
Please come over. Plan for Dallas if you can. Come over, and we really need a task force, a big army of people who can do seva. You're always welcome, but come over.
I'm on for it. I'm just waiting for God's grace and Guru's kripa. So when he obliges me, he puts me in his sharan, takes me in his own stride, I will be there. That's for sure. I'm waiting for this to happen.
The seed is there, right? You planted that seed, it will become a tree for sure. That is how it happens. You take one step, God will take 100 steps. So
that's for sure.
You make the intent, and then you never know, it can happen, right? And there are so many ways to get engaged with seva anyways. But yeah, if you get a chance to come here, or even otherwise, I think there's so many wonderful retreats that happen in India. So many opportunities are there. Do avail it. It's good, actually. We are fortunate that we get this opportunity. So yeah, I understand why you would feel jealous around it, and it's a spiritual jealousy, which is good.
Yes, it's spiritual jealousy. That's for sure. True. Yes. We have few hands raised. Can we take them with Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Surendra ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe Prabhu, Nitin ji.
Radhe Radhe, Surendra ji.
The earlier slide had the question. I'm referring to that.
Sure.
Are we competent enough? Are we competent enough to understand whether this is a Mahapurush or this is a good Guru or not Guru?
Yeah, we spoke about that topic. See, we don't have that.
This
what
is
do
the
you call
question. If you find out he is not a true Guru, are we competent to say that?
No, we are not competent. Basically, you would have evaluated. See, your yardstick for you is, has it helped you evolve, and has it helped you cultivate love for God? Has it helped you become a better person? There are simple yardsticks we can apply. The best one is your devotion for God increased or not, right? But if for some reason you come to know, for whatever reason, we are not competent, you're very right. But for some reason, it is very evident, right? If you come to know about it, like let's say we didn't have Tattva Gyan previously, and we see that it's not helping my spiritual journey, and I'm getting more and more entrenched into my Mike world only. My fear has increased. Now I'm getting more into rituals and stuff like that. With proper knowledge, if we get that sign ever, then this is the recommended way. You just simply don't have durbhavana about it. Simply move on. And see, every lifetime we would have made a guru. There's a good possibility we've already had infinite gurus. So it's not that we have not done it. But the key is how to approach this when it happens without getting negative and simply moving on, kind of a deal. Durbhavana for anybody is not good. It's as simple as that. But yeah, you're very right. It's very difficult to know that, right? We are talking about people of saintly stages.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, Baniji.
Yeah. Bunny's back.
Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So when Shamji was telling that everything happens in Dallas, and he's feeling a little bad about that. I mean, low. I thought of telling, don't worry, Shamji, maybe in the immediate next life, he might be born in Dallas in a devotee's family. He might be on a fast track and be a superstar. I mean, like rock star facilitator, leading all those who are lagging behind.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Be prepared to do a lot of seva, okay, and be prepared to have a big thick skin, right? Because when you enter the world of seva, especially with the scale of programs that are done, if you are weak-hearted, if you are touchy, sensitive, right, those kind of things, that training will happen for a big time, right? So you've got to really gear up for that. So that is the other side of it. When you get exposed to such big seva, it's a huge opportunity, and at the same time, it can break some people as well. Okay. So that is the other aspect of it, because nothing comes free there are no free lunches in this world, and including the spiritual path. So the more you are able to withstand things around you, the better off you will be. But there is no dearth of seva, and a wonderful team that we have here. It's an opportunity to really give a push to your spiritual journey if you can channelize it. Right? But you got to have the required, resilience of taking on the world around you as well, because you have to expose yourself to so many things in a quick span of time. Right? But yeah, I mean, if you get an opportunity, I would say come over just from, one of the retreats or anything. And then if you decide to move over here, sure. If that has to happen, then the Sham Sundar will make sure Shamji comes here. So never know that.
Thank you so much for the blessings, Adima. I hope so. Yeah.
All right, Tejalji, I see. Okay, you are also there. Yes, Tejalji, please go ahead.
Tejalji, please go ahead. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, everyone. I just happened to hear this conversation, Nitinji, that you were inviting some of the devotees to Dallas, and I just wanted to say that, yeah, if you are planning, then you should plan during Janmashtami, because right after Janmashtami is LP and then the retreat. So, plan this whole thing. You can actually experience what Dallas is and how Swamiji is in Dallas, and what kind of sevas you can get involved. It's absolutely a joy, and we will welcome you with open heart and open arms. Let's all increase each other's devotion. How inspirational, Nitinji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tejalji. We are talking about future, and Tejalji is told that the future is now. Okay, future is fast approaching in a couple of weeks. So please come over, and you will You will have the dance of your life, I can tell you that.
People
And
are now forcing me now. This is why. You all are now forcing me now. Okay. Urviji, Radhe, Radhe, please go ahead.
Survi, go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Actually, like I also had this thought like Shyamji that it would have been so good if I would have got to live in Dallas. But then, like if we can obviously go to Dallas, it would be nothing like it. But as of now, if I think of myself, it's just impossible for me, at least for a few years. So what I think is like how I thought about it was like we're situated in the best place that we should be, right? So if I would have been in Dallas right now, I would have made some mistakes or I would have done something which would not have helped me in my spiritual progress. That is why God has sent me to a place in Rajasthan. So that is, and while we cannot go to Dallas, like unless you cannot go there, you can visit places in India as well, like Mangar. We have Maharaji's temples, that is a Guru Dham in Vrindavan, Barsana. Those are beautiful places. So that opportunity you can avail. Radhe Radhe.
Beautiful, Urvi,
Do
very
that.
deep thought around it. And like Swamiji says, we all are perfectly situated where we need to be. So yeah, we have to look at it from that standpoint as well. And there's no dearth of opportunities. Seva is what you're looking for. You can go to Banara, there's so many opportunities. And Urvi, I can see, once she becomes an IAS officer, she'll be helping out with Swamiji's university in so many ways. So I can already see that future, okay, happening, unfolding. So Shyamji, there's no dearth of opportunities, trust me. If you get a chance to go to one of the retreats, I mean, hopefully we can coincide one of the retreats in India, I can make it as well. It's the same experience. You don't have to be in Dallas to experience, but you can make it great here. But if you want to experience that part and you want to get engaged in Seva, there's no dearth of opportunities. So
I know that. Right. Just a thought. Yeah. I know that. True that. Yeah.
Great. All right.
There
Anything
are no
else are done?
questions, no more hand raise. I
One
guess
hand raise.
people
Please do
are-
fill out the feedback tracker. Tomorrow we conclude this discussion, and thank you again for a fascinating, engaging discussion. Lakshmiji, you can have the last word.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe. Yeah, what Shyamji is saying is the same thing. We all are in this thinking in the same way. But what I feel is like when I started this journey in this platform, it was in November, I suppose. And so used to say never miss Swamiji's visit to India and so like that. So I was fortunate to get that chance immediately in the December. So it's just 6 weeks later I got the opportunity. So if you're fortunate, I think yes, we may come to Dallas, or when Swamiji's visit is there in India, we may be fortunate to get into that. So that is my thing.
Able to do that. So God will arrange for us. I can see two faces here who have already met Swamiji. This February, March time frame, and maybe you guys should come in one of the sessions and talk about it. Shefali already did. Sandhya, you should also come and talk about it. It will be very inspiring for a lot of participants, I'm sure. In a short span of time, how things.
That was, I was very lucky, Hitanbhai. Sorry to interrupt you, because the day we started our sessions on JK Yoga, Gita sessions, Swamiji was there again in the first few months. He was there in the month of April. So I could speak to him that very day, first day. And when we made to India's tour, that day also I could meet him for 2 consecutive days in the month of November. He was in Delhi and Delhi, yes. That ways, God has been kind to me. I would not say that. He's been showing his grace, blessing me upon through Swamiji or through himself. That ways, I'm lucky enough. I would say that. And if you meet Swamiji, you can just know what to say, how to say. It's difficult to say, but he's energy himself. As an energized energy, that's the way he is. He was there for 2.5 hours, and not even for a single moment he budged. Not for a single moment. Since we all sit for an hour, I have to sit like this at time like this, and was sitting straight erect for almost 2 hours, just trying to convince people, telling them. And he said in one of the lectures that initially people used to go to gurus, ki hame guru mil jaye, guru mil jaye. Now it's the other way around. Now guru have come to Shishyas, please accept me, please take me. That's the way things have changed. This is Kali Yuga. So people won't go to gurus. So gurus have come down, taken the task, taken the responsibility of people to telling them, letting them know, ki yes, time has come, the time is right. So please accept whosoever you want to accept. Take them as a guru. Try to be spiritual. Try to be the right thing, right time. I guess that's the way he is, Nitin bhai. I'm sure what I'm saying is making sense.
Yes, it does. I always say that he was the one who sniffed us out when we were in Phoenix. So gurus, they come and they sniff you out. But Maharajji's grace would have been there, right? So how did that happen? I don't know. But we are fortunate actually that we get these opportunities, because it's like hitting a jackpot. Not everybody gets that. And if our sanskars are not there, if we don't have enough sanchit karma, our feet will not lead you to that discourse. Our mind will not cooperate. So many things can go wrong. You may get stuck in a traffic jam. So the fact we are able to meet face to face for whatever reason, it's not happening by providence. There's a good reason for that. And we should actually think about that grace and express our gratitude to draw more grace around it. This is how I see it.
As I always say, the events in my life happened, the events that were a time when I need him the most. He was there with me. I can assure you that way. Because as I always tell you, because he was there with me. And that can't be a coincidence, that can't be a chance.
Exactly.
The same day, the same time, that what else you can ask for in the body? That was a perfect one for me.
Yep.
He was there when I needed the most. That's for sure.
Beautiful. And you have to reflect back
Also
on
on this, the same thing. Yeah.
you have to reflect back on that and really think about it, right? It's such a huge blessing of God and grace, right? And we should actually make the most of it, and then it will draw more grace around it. So great point, Shamji. Glad you said that. Yes, Manoranjanji, you had something to add to the Guru?
Just to understand what we are discussing. Maybe this question will be personal, but I'd like to ask you that whom do you consider yourself as your guru? Is it Swami Mukundanji Maharaj or is it Jagat Guru Kripal Maharaj?
I consider Jagat Guru Kripalaji Maharaj Ji as my guru and Swamiji as my mentor. Point blank, very clear answer.
Thanks.
He's the chosen one for me, and I know for a fact. Okay. He's the chosen one for me because my journey started with him, and he's a great proxy for me because Maharajji is not there. And I've had realizations working with him that I can not articulate and put it in words, and have seen myself from what I used to be and how I feel about myself now. And that is a good commendation or an acknowledgement for me to know that he's the chosen mentor for me. Okay, because I didn't have enough good karma, punya karma to meet Maharajji in person. I wish I had, maybe I would in some lifetime, but Swamiji is the chosen mentor for me, and I'm eternally indebted to him and Maharajji both. Yes.
Yeah, Sandhya ji, please go ahead.
I mean, there was just this request yesterday also and today as well, that Ashutosh ji hasn't sung yet on Guru's compassion. So if he wants to,
please go ahead.
I think Sam ji requested for this.
Yeah, it's been a while. We have heard Ashutosh ji, right? When I say while, means we have missed him for one day.
Ashutosh ji, are you there? He's there, yes. Ashutosh ji.
Yes, Ashutosh ji, please go ahead.
Camera on, please. Let me see you sing. Let us see you sing. Recite few verses for us.
Are you able to see me now?
Thank you so much.
Actually, since we're talking about Guru and Satsang, all those things, I am just, everyone who is residing in Hyderabad or nearby, they are welcome to join our Satsang. We are started here also in Hyderabad. We are doing every Sunday now onwards. They can come and join. And today I will like to recite on Satsang. Yesterday. Okay, should I go ahead?
Please go ahead. 2, 3, please go ahead now.
संत संग सत संग कर तिन सेवहूं दिन रात राधे राधे श्रद्धा रति अरु भक्ति सब अपने ही मिल जाए राधे राधे जय राधे कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्ण राधे जय राधे Radhe Radhe. Thank you, Nitin ji, giving me
Thank you so
30.
much, Sarojini. Thank you so much.
Beautiful, Ashutoshi. Very nice. Ashutoshi, we'd love to hear from you on one of the days as well. I have seen you take some big strides in a very short span of time, and you are gracing the sparrows around you as well every morning, which is even, wonderful. So please do come and share your experience in one of the sessions. Love to hear from you.
Sure, Nitin ji. I think whenever my holiday will be there, and because this time my office time in between is there, so it is kind of little difficult. But whenever holiday is there, definitely I will share. I will not be able to make any PPT and all those things, but I
No
will share.
worries, you don't have to. You can simply talk through that. I know
And it is all.
he used to be, okay, I'm just making, okay, so please bear with me. He used to be an angry young man, getting angry, he was playing badminton. Okay, now he's a smiling young man, reciting Bhakti Shatak and walking under a tree. So quite a transformation for sure.
I
Ashutoshi,
really like to
know
thank you.
in Hyderabad, the place Hyderabad. Ashutoshi.
Yes, I am residing near Balanagar area. From airport is 40 kilometers. From Secunderabad railway station is 5-6 kilometers only.
And from Delhi, it is how many kilometers?
1.5 hour journey from
Oh.
flight. 24-hour journey by train.
Great.
Thank you, Bhai, for asking my question.
So I think we are good for today then. We can do our closing prayers. And
I'll just like to thank Nitin ji you for this anger management class. Really, that helped me a lot. Really, I like to thank you. Really, I'm so grateful for you and like that. And last week, Swamiji's grace and Maharajji. When we are saying that Maharajji, I'm staying 14 kilometers from Mangar, but I never got opportunity to meet Maharajji.
we will, okay? Now it will happen.
Remember one last thing. My wife wants to ask something here on Guru Tattva. Naina will say something. Please listen to me.
Naina ji, go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Radhe Radhe Nitin Bhai and everybody in the group.
Radhe,
Basically, my understanding about the Guru is, of course, we are the chosen ones, those who have the Guru. And, whether the main ashram or the main center of whichever school we belong to can be in any other country. The idea is to, connect to your Guru energetically. The minute you close your eyes, you should feel yourself in the aura of the Guru. That is when you know that yes, you are truly connected and you are already in Chhatra Chaya of a Guru. And as for me, it just does not matter whether my Guru is in a physical form or he's already left the physical body. But the Gurus are God realized people. And we are, the how to feel their presence is more important. And I think if we start practicing that, whenever we are in trouble or we are in, we need some help, some guidance, so just close your eyes and talk to your Guru and you will definitely get the answers. Only thing is you have to be present enough to know the answers. So that is what I would like to add, because Sham always keep feeling that I am not in Dallas, but I think, sitting in India, if he wants to feel the presence of the Guru, so, it is not that difficult. Only thing is everybody needs little practice.
True. Very true. I think you are talking very deep, profound realizations around this concept, because like we said, there's no physical limitations, when it comes to your relationship with Guru. You need to close your eyes and that connect is established. And you don't have to get worried that we are going to, pull Shyamji away from you into Dallas. So
no, he's going to get me along. Don't worry on that. He never goes alone without me anyway.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, like I said, what is the intent behind it? What we basically, if you ask me, what is the biggest gain of being here in the proximity of temple is that we get a very beautiful platform which gives us so many opportunities to perform seva, and it has become such an integral part of our life that otherwise time would have been lost in things. What do you do otherwise? You potluck, you meet people, you gossip around, you're talking about worldly things, politics, right? In general, there's absolutely nothing. Time will find its own ways. Now our time is so well utilized with doing sevas and getting involved in, serving people one after another, that it is good for your journey, right? This session that we are having, it's only because of this platform. So many people we are congregate every day wouldn't have been possible if we didn't have this temple and this platform for us, right? So that is, I look at it as an opportunity to do seva for Hari and Guru. Not many people did that, but if you have to do that, we can do it from anywhere, right? We don't have to be present in a temple or at a particular place. It can be done anywhere. We just need to make the bhavs, and there are so many ways we can contribute towards that. Great discussion. All right, are we good to do our closing prayers then?
Yes, we are good to go. But still, I would love to go to Dallas for sure. You cannot change my mind.
Love to see you. By the way, today is a special day. Let me check if there is somebody named. Hold on, give me a sec. I'll just take about a minute to check if Lekhaa. Okay, so my mom, finally somebody helped her to crack the code of joining the Zoom, and I've told her don't talk and don't put your video on, and she has stuck to it. I'll check with her if she was able to see and attend that. For the first
Why
time
so?
in the last 1.5 years, she's been able to come onto the Zoom session. So I hope she was able to hear. I'll check it out with her. But can you believe it? How to use Zoom? She finally cracked it. Okay, and somebody helped her out with that. So
She's there. So can we see her? Request her to say Radhe Radhe if you say so.
I'll have to teach her. Okay, it'll take a bit of a time. So be persistent. Okay, around that.
I can do that as a co-host. I can try that.
I'll check it out if she can make it one day. A lot of training would be needed. Okay, so all right, good. Then we can do our closing prayers. Quite a few hands are raised already. Yes, Sandhya.
ठीक है. So yeah, no worry. Yeah. Sandhya
Yeah,
ji,
I
or
was just mentioning a comment from Asha ji for Naina ji. She was saying very, very true, Naina ji. Beautiful points and experience. Thanks for sharing it.
closing prayers.
Yeah, Naraji said some very deep and profound things, Shyamji. You've got somebody who has some spiritual grounding right at your home, so you need to be discussing this topic more often, I guess.
मैं क्लासेस नितिन भाई मैं कर रहा हूँ 1.5 साल से. लोग जानते नहीं है मुझे, और आज नैना ने एक बात बोली, सब लोग उसकी तारीफ कर रहे हैं.
See, we are encouraging Naraji also to come to sessions. That's essentially what it is.
मैं क्या करूँ मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा. खैर,
आप
she is profound, that's for sure, more than me. I was religious for last 30 years, but it took her 1 year to reach where I took 30 years to reach. That's for sure.
No, I think this is a soul journey, like you were talking, Nitin ji. I had no clue where I left in my last birth, and I was like absolutely like a stranger to the spiritual world. And suddenly I entered this world, and अब ऐसा कितनी बार ऐसा लगता है, अरे ये तो मुझे पता था, ये तो मैंने कहीं सुना हुआ था, and these deep thoughts keep coming, and I think I have already made the connection where I left in my last birth, and now my journey further has started.
So you are reclaiming.
Though at the age of 47.
You're reclaiming very fast, which is amazing. So, Shyamji, you have some catch up to do now.
हमसे ना पाएगा.
Good. Can come to Dallas. So that offer is still on.
That makes more sense, yeah. So we have Payal ji and we have Surinder ji for closing prayers. So I'll unmute them.
All right, Payal ji, go ahead, please.
Surinder ji, yeah.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखात् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Radhe Radhe. Thank you again. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful and a blessed day ahead and a great rest of your evening. Radhe Radhe.
Nitin ji, is JKU planning something for 15th August? That is 75th anniversary of our independence.
15th August. I think it will be
Amrit Mahotsav. We call it Amrit Mahotsav.
Okay. Patani, I will check it out. I just know what is going to happen in the next 1 hour. Okay, that is how limited my viewpoint is. But I'll definitely
Tiranga.
check it out. Yeah, 15th August here. I have not forgotten. Yeah.
Thank you. Just a thought.
Thanks for the reminder. All right, Radhe Radhe. Good night. Good day, everybody.
Radhe, Radhe.
Thank you
Thank you.
much. Thank you. See you.